Forgiveness is not to let the other person off the hook. When you forgive, you are saving your own life. You are liberating your own life force. You are setting yourself free. Forgiveness is not for the other, it is for you. Hello everyone, my name is Doris Victoria, your personal empowerment and conscious millionaire coach. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video today is about a very powerful insight that I wanted to share with you that I had recently as I was visiting a beautiful village nearby. It is all about forgiveness and why forgiveness is not so much about the other person. You know, we think, or many humans still think, that when you forgive, it's actually for the other person, or when you don't want to forgive, it's because you don't want the other person, you don't want to let the other person off the hook. But actually forgiveness is only for yourself. And I want to start this video with this beautiful phrase that I heard that was changing my life. It's been 20 years that I first heard it, and I'm paraphrasing here. It's going something like, when you cannot forgive, it is like putting poison. You think you are putting a little drop of poison into somebody else's meal, that person that you cannot forgive. But in the end, you are going to be the one eating this meal, which means that you are going to be poisoning yourself because of your incapacity to forgive this person. And why is that? As long as we cannot forgive, we are holding ourselves in a mental prison, because we will remember over and over again why we cannot forgive this other person. Like what this other person did to us will always be present. It is a very kind of like mental way of seeing it. When the mind settles into your heart and it's going into understanding, and there's a lot of breathing exercises that are helping us to kind of like merge the mind with the heart so that the ego becomes more transcendent and we can actually see things from our heart. Excuse me. So when that happens, we will then be understanding the situation from a different point of view. We will suddenly realize, wait, this other person was barely a teacher. She or he was just a teacher. She didn't do anything to me that I could not have allowed. So what if we were both responsible for that horrible thing that he or she did to me? And what if that was actually my generative force, my accelerator to propel me into a new conscious awareness about myself, about life, about the world, about all of us, about soul contracts, for example. So, as I said, recently I went to this beautiful medieval village that is just near where I live here in Vence. And there's lots of art galleries. It's a really beautiful atmosphere, lots of ice cream shops. There's everything there for well-being and hanging out. This is why it has become a very touristy place, but it's really nice. I like the vibe there in summer, because all the artists, they're bringing in their vibes and their way of seeing the world, and you know, the new age, and I mean, everything is reflected there. The way couples are portrayed, or women are portrayed as goddesses that give life. Men are portrayed as the sacred divine masculine that is protecting the feminine so that life can grow in peace. It's kind of like a new world vibe. But what I want to share really is that on top of that hill is this beautiful Catholic church. Many churches here in France are Catholic, and I might have had a video about this. I'm not sure if I shared this with you, but what I can share with you now is that many of my Christian, especially Catholic clients, or Muslim or Jewish, I don't have that much experience with Muslim or Jewish, but I have friends that shared the same with me, that most of those people that were growing up with one of the monotheistic world religions, which is Catholicism, Muslim, and Jewish. and it's all the radical, the kind of like, you know, the one that suppresses the human. It is not forcefully connecting you with the divinity, with God, the creator, that is you, that is reflected in your eyes, because every prophet, Muhammad, every, you know, Jesus, Buddha, everyone was bringing this message to the world that we are not separated from the creator. We are one. We are the creator. And Jesus was sharing abundantly, I am the Son of God, just like you are a daughter of God or a son of God, you know? So anyway, I was going to this church, and usually I walk around those places, because for me, love is my religion and every heart is my temple. I usually avoid these places where kind of like old world messages that are separating humans from source are being taught. I avoid these places. I do not want to partake in this kind of old world paradigm of keeping humans small and sinful and feeling guilty even for their existence. So usually I make a big round about any of those places, because I remember myself, I had past lifetimes, several past lifetimes, where I was tortured to death by the Catholic Church for being an enlightened woman, for being beautiful, for being kind, or for being different, you know? I mean, back in the Middle Ages, or from the Middle Ages, I mean, I was burned at the stake. I have so many recollection of past life trauma, especially the day that I had to leave this physical body, mostly because it was forced by other barbarian human beings. And when I say barbarian, none of us is barbarian inherently. We are all good, inherently good. We learn fear. We are born with love, and then we learn fear. And fear is what has been taught in those monotheistic religions. And this is why usually I do not partake in that, because as I said, my world is different. My world is, we're all a big family, and no religion, no skin color, no race could ever have the power to separate us, because we all have a heart. We all seek for peace and love. We are all one big family. And I would extend that not to only human beings and all races and all colors here on Earth, or even out of this Earth, even in the galaxies. I want to extend it to all living life forms, trees, plants, birds, animals, rocks. Everything is alive. Everything is consciousness. And so anyway, so I had a long time, long story short, I carried this, you know, this grudge against the Catholic Church for a long time. And I went deeper with some therapists that I really trusted in knowing what happened, knowing, because I had fears of certain things that were absolutely unrelated with this lifetime, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Where is that coming from? And then we found where it was coming from, and mostly it was going back to the dungeons of the Middle Ages and the Catholic Church, and what they had for torturing people that were enlightened, or that were speaking the truth, or that were friendly, or that were beautiful, or women that were no longer virgins. Men were never punished. Women were. So I remember all that. And so I never actually, for a long time, I did not want to honor this place with my presence. I said, no, I'm not going to go in there, you know. And then last Friday, I actually walked up this beautiful mountain, and I've done so much inner work all these past years, especially ever since, oh my God, I don't know if you feel that, but I mean, there's so much more consciousness, and we really have to resist strong if you don't want to integrate this new consciousness. So with this new consciousness and my own work on forgiving, I went into this church and I took pictures of me in this church. And at first it felt scary because I saw all these metal lamps and metal things, and it reminded me of the dungeons that I remember. I don't know if you're familiar with, well, I don't even want to mention it in this video, but so I saw all this metal and this iron with, you know, and yet I was able to walk in this church this time peaceful. And I was kind of like looking at myself in the camera with the church surrounding me, saying to myself, you know what? Saying to myself and to those that have been confused in exterminating the people that were enlightened or that were different or kind or beautiful or conscious or awakened. None of that was wanted earlier here on this planet Earth. The dark forces still had a lot of more power, and I might have not mentioned this, but the dark forces founded the three monotheistic world religions in order to separate, to create this disconnect from humans and Source, or Allah, or God, or Yahweh, whatever we want to call this one source that is the feminine and the masculine. So I went to this church and I was inside and I looked at myself surrounded by this church and I said, you know what? I forgive you. I forgive all of my perpetrators. They probably did not know what they were doing. If they would have known what they were doing, they wouldn't have done it. But the truth is that no one can really extinguish our light. We are eternal life. We are eternal energy, and energy cannot be born, it cannot die, it can only change form. So what the perpetrators back then didn't know is that many of those souls that they didn't want on this planet came back in a different form, in a different energy. And it's good like this, because our wisdom needs to enlighten the planet. Our wisdom is the wisdom of love. It is the wisdom of oneness, the wisdom of reconnection. Reminds me of Lao Tzu just in this moment. Lao Tzu once said, a saint is kind to the kind and kind to the unkind, because the nature of his being is kindness. So for all of us kind souls who may have been eliminated by dungeons from certain monotheistic religions, for me, this was the moment I forgive all of those perpetrators, not only in this one particular lifetime, but all lifetimes that my life might have been taken by someone else or a group of some other else's. I forgive those because by forgiving them, I let go of these old chains that I placed upon myself. You know, we are, by not being able to forgive, we are placing ourselves in this mental prison without realizing it. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for shining. We're here for, we're here for awakening and for bringing this awakened consciousness to the world, to all humankind, to all life forms, all creation, so that the world's light, or the light of every human being, becomes brighter and can shine again. So anyway, this was something that was really, it was a beautiful moment, and I actually shared it with a friend, and she's the reason I wanted to share this video, because she said what you said was so powerful. We often don't realize that forgiveness is not for the other, it's for our own salvation. It's for our own setting us free and shine again, and remember why we came here in this lifetime, and then do what we came here to do in this lifetime. Hopefully this helps you, beloved soul. If you couldn't forgive yet, try. try liberate yourself. And if you need help, I can integrate 2 more people into my schedule right now. Just write me a text underneath this video and we will connect. Remember, the first call is always for free, and then from there we will go. It would be my honor to walk with you alongside this path of self-liberation and self-salvation. Because in the end, what all of us are seeking, what all of us are deserving, is to be sovereign, to be our own authentic, autonomous, free self, aligned with God, aligned with Allah, aligned with Buddha, aligned with Yahweh, aligned with this eternal energy of the Creator. And there's just this one that is nourishing all of us, that is opening the buds of the roses in each country, no matter what country, no matter what religion, no matter what language they speak. This power of love is everywhere. This power of love that is opening, as I said, the buds of roses or of all the other flowers in springtime. It is everywhere, and it is us. And all we are invited to do is remember. So all my love, dear one. I hope this helps you. Please share in the comments below what you are taking away from today's video. I'm looking forward to read your comments. All my love, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now. And for all of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Every subscriber will help me. Once I have enough subscribers, I can do lives. I really want to do lives and answer your personal questions. So please go ahead, like and subscribe and share this video abundantly. And again, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for today.